Hello, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to make a pulled pork in the crock pot today. So what we're going to start with is the oblong shaped crock pot. I didn't have any crock pot bags today, so I'm actually using a turkey roasting bag, and I'm hoping that that'll be just fine. So this video won't be long. Go ahead and subscribe to me if you haven't. We're going to start out by putting in some onion and bell pepper at the bottom of our bag here to try to make a little bed for our pork. So we have our onion in, that's about a half of a medium-sized onion. And then we're going to put our bell pepper. And this is mainly for seasoning. You can eat it, it'll be really soft, but this is mainly for seasoning. This is about a half of a green bell pepper. And you're just going to slice those, make sure you wash them as well. Let's see. Another thing that I'm going to go ahead and put at the bottom of the container is going to be some leftover pineapples that we used when we made our Thanksgiving meats. I normally would use apple juice, but I don't have any today, so I'm going to use some of this pineapple juice, and it's about a half of a regular can of pineapple. And then once I put my pulled pork in there, I'm going to lay these slices of pineapple on the top. So the size of the pork shoulder that I have, it's about a 3 and a, let's see, it's a 3.25 pound bone-in pork shoulder. That's what I'm going to use. So you're just going to defrost it. If it's not fully defrosted, it'll be okay. But I defrosted mine, washed it, and now I'm going to go ahead and season it. So here it is right here. I'm going to leave all the fat on there. Once it cooks in the crock pot, you'll be able to just take that fat out of the dish before you shred your meat. But this will help, of course, give it flavor. So I'm going to put some coarse sea salt on here. And you can use whatever salt that you have, of course. I'm going to use a little bit of this sweet rub of mine. It's some rub that we already had in the pantry. So I'm going to sprinkle that on. Okay, and then I'm going to use this applewood rub that we had. We have a lot of rubs in our pantry. We lived in Texas for a while, so we have a lot of rubs, and I want to use them and get them out of there. So if you can and you're not trying to record or anything, you want to take and make sure you massage your rub into your meat. If you do it over your sink, it'll be easier, because it can all just drop in your sink if there's a little bit of a mess. The last thing that I'm gonna pack on top is some light brown sugar. This is about 3/4 cups of light brown sugar. And again, you want to just kind of mash it on there. You want to sit it on there and kind of let it soak in and flavor the meat, so it doesn't just all fall in the juice there at the bottom. And the fat that you left on the meat, that's gonna make a lot of juice too. So once your meat is done, you're gonna want to pull it from that juice. You can add some additional pepper if you want. I'm gonna just go with the rubs that I used and hope that that provides enough seasoning. But again, you can season it a little bit more to your liking. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just place these sliced pineapples on the top. That should give it some additional flavor. Oops, my phone's ringing. Okay, I'll have to call them right back. The next thing we want to do is place the lid on top, and then for the purposes of my day, I'm gonna actually cook this on high for about 3 hours, and then I'm gonna turn it down to low for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. So you're gonna maybe cook it on high a full 4.5 hours. If you want to fully cook it on high. On low, I would suggest 6.5, maybe 7. You can poke around with it and see if it's starting to fall off the bone and be as tender as you would prefer. So I will check back in with you. Oh my God, I never did record it. Are you kidding me? I cooked the pulled pork. Again, it was 3.25 pounds. I cooked it on high for roughly 3 hours, and then I checked it. I turned it down and cooked it on low for another 3.5 hours. My plan was to cook it another 4 hours, but then I checked it and it was pretty tender to my liking. It was not falling apart, but it has still a little bit of structure to it, which you want with your pulled pork, or else it's going to be kind of mushy, being that you cooked it in the crock pot. So you don't want to totally overcook it. So then you just want to go ahead and shred it, remove the bone, remove the large piece of fat, and you can add some barbecue sauce to it if you would like and make some sandwiches. You could make some pulled pork nachos. You could even use it and season it a little bit differently by using like a taco seasoning and making like a taco salad with it. I think that would be good. And then just dress it with salsa or whatever dressing that you prefer on your taco salad. So as you see, I'm removing the bone now, and the bone is pretty big, but you want to get that out of there. You want to leave it for cooking though, because of course it provides flavor in the cooking process. So I do apologize that my camera was not on properly when I began this several hours ago, but I believe just talking you through it will help you get an idea of how you can make really good pulled pork in your crock pot while you're at work, even if you would like. If you do it while you're at work, you want to leave it on low and cook it for approximately 8 hours. So that should cover you, you know, if you have to leave the house or whatever. So we're looking pretty good. And then you can put the leftovers in the fridge in a Tupperware container and just heat them on the stove as you need it. Gonna go ahead and get this finished so that I can feed my children. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please leave them below. And if you would, please go ahead and help me by subscribing or liking my video or sharing it with someone else. Have an amazing day. I will talk to you soon.